Legend of Totoro here, and today we've got a Saving a Disaster battle playing as Kolek Sun-Eater going up against Wulfric the Wanderer. Now this is a very interesting scenario because the guy has built an unusual army because of the alliance units that he got from vassals. It's a very late game campaign. He's at turn 230, so he's managed to vassalize some lizardmen, and he's got Coatls and feral carnosaurs in this army. Now those units make this particular battle very interesting, and we'll get into that in a bit. Going up against more than 2 full stacks of Wulfric the Wanderer. And what I want to do here is also read out the email from the guy, and they sort of give you a context of why he's not able to overcome this. So anyway, let's load up the battle, and I'll read out the email. So he said, I was trying to collect traits for Kolek, and Wulfric is kicking my butt. You got Manticores with physical resistance, so I think that's 35%, yep. 2 Nurgle heroes. You got Shaggoths, Fire Wizard, level 50 Kolek with like 20k mass and high resistances, and a couple of other units that I was trying out in the stack. Now, funny thing is about those other units, they're the big key to victory here. I can handle the Mammoths if I 1v1 or 2 them, but then the Skin Wolves really bog down Kolek and tear up my single entities. If I take out the Skin Wolves first, I end up getting 1v8 Mammoths versus Kolek. I don't know, man. What do I do here? I know this is doable, but I just don't see how. And that's okay. You don't have to... Not everyone's going to know how to deal with this sort of situation. The thing is, if we use our entire army, if we just take our entire army here and just charge at the enemy, we'll lose. If I do that, I will lose as well. But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is something that is only possible with this army because we have Coatls. So, these units here normally can't hide. So what we want to do is hide them in an location out here. We don't need to go into the forest. In fact, we don't want to go in the forest because I understand how the AI thinks. You know, most of the time. They have no flying units, so they can't just send a unit come over to attack our Coatls. So what they're going to do is they're going to see that our ground units, which they know that we've got, that's outside of our Kolek, are hidden. And what they're programmed to do is not recognize that Coatls are obviously the ones hiding them, but instead they're programmed to search the forests, which are on our flanks over here. I want them to do that. I want them to spread out their forces, come over to here, but I don't want them coming in through here, because that will then allow me, once they've done that, to wheel about this army and attack either one of those flanks, and allow them a concentrated army to dilute themselves so that we can fucking smash them so hard that they have no chance to react to it. Kolek doesn't need to be in that group. He's strong enough that he can mess with them as well. So what I want to do with Kolek is get a bunch of units chasing after him so that the enemy forces takes their 2 full stacks and spreads out so wide that they have absolutely no concentration whatsoever. Because the concentration of their force is stronger than the concentration of our forces. So what we need to do is pick them apart. Not a little bit at a time. I don't think this battle's going to be quick. Sorry, I don't think this battle's going to take long. I think it will be fairly quick. But just not all at the same time. Because I think that's what he was trying to focus on. He just didn't know which units to take out first. So it doesn't... I don't think it matters which unit you take out first. You just take out the ones that are isolated. So what we're doing here is, rather than focusing on which unit beats what, we're focusing on dismantling the AI's store patterns. So they want to wait for their reinforcements, and that's fine. What I want to do with Kolek, I always go for the attack of the flank as opposed to the center, because if you go in the center, they wrap around you really quickly, whereas you attack in the flank and you can usually do a bit of hit and run. Also want to use Cascading Fire Cloak because it's cheap and provides extra weapon strength and melee defense. I have no problems with fighting a War Mammoth as well. So, you can see here, Kolek is super strong. But Kolek is not strong enough to be able to take on all of these forces by himself. But what he can do is embarrass the few forces that come at us at the start here. Now, we don't want to get bogged down too much. Obviously, this is very good for us to begin with here. We're trading really well. He's taking some damage, but it's okay. No, one more hit, take it out. Come on. I want you to actually take it out. One more hit, you got it. Kill it. There we go. So we've taken a little bit of damage there. We've got some regen, so that's good. Now what you're going to start to see soon is these guys just sort of mosey about looking for our hidden units, but they're going to look in the forest because that's where the AI thinks our units are, even though it's not possible for me to hide in the forest. See how they're splitting up their forces is exactly what I want. Wolfric the Wanderer is fairly isolated as well. I think I want to fuck him. I'm gonna get demonetized for this video. Oh well. Now, Wolfric is anti-large and anti-infantry, but I think Kolek is just outright stronger than him. Shaggoths beat mammoths. Yep, this is exactly what we want them to do. Come on, keep focusing on Wolfric. Did Wolfric even get a hit in? Yeah, he did, but we regenerated it. It's also on very hard battle difficulty. Not that that really matters that much. Come on, take him out completely. So Wolfric did, yeah, only 700 damage and he's out. See, they're looking for us. It's exactly what I want. Because here's the thing. This army can so easily handle one mammoth at a time. No problem whatsoever. But all of their mammoths and all of their infantry all at the same time? Probably not so much. And also, our guys are fairly quick, so they're not going to get a chance to get away. It's a tasty group of infantry you got there. Mind if I kill you? Keep focusing on that mammoth there. Now that guy there is pretty damn high value. Yeah, that fireball's not going to matter. He's like, I'm going to get that free fireball then. No, you're not. Let's go. Surprise! Actually, they can't see us yet. They went and hid. Come on, move, 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 move. Okay, good. Pop this down and smash him. And this mammoth over here. Actually, keep the regular dragon ogres out of it because I want to try to do this without taking a single casualty. Just escort this guy here off the battlefield, if you don't mind. But now they're coming at us in the most disorganized manner you could possibly expect. There's no cohesion to their army anymore. And this is exactly what I was counting on. This guy here has gotten a fair few kills. Let's get Kolek out of there and start picking off guys that are coming in. Let's get Kolek over there. Just leave all these dregs behind.
I wield forces from the god of exalted hero of Nurgle. Invoking the Fly Lord.
Okay, we've also got the actually. There's not that many infantry here, just be mindful about that for now. Kolek, you almost here? Yep. Take out them large units, that's what you're here for. All their infantry lag behind. Good. Haven't army lost them yet?
Where's the jewel? Invite So, very well. Dismember!
But yeah, we turned this into basically an ambush fight where they just... Their AI has just been dismantled. Still got so much of their force that's not even showing up here yet. We'll do the healing at the end of the battle so that everybody can get it. All the single entities. We should be able to heal to full if this keeps up. And they're so focused on rushing over here that they're probably not going to dodge this stuff too well. And there's the army losses. Like I said, he had a really good army, he just wasn't sure on how to use it. Which he admitted in the email. Okay, is everyone here? Well, this one doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, it's not over yet because these guys are actually unbreakable.
Blessings of war! At your command.
Should they stay close to the Nurgle here? I want to make sure we're at full strength after this. Make it not even look like we had a fight. Because that's what I like to do with these disaster battles. If I can hand back the enemy, his army with it not even a scratch, I feel like I've done my job. And if you go look in the comments, go scroll down the comments now and go and see and count how many times somebody posted, "How is this even a disaster battle? This is easy." Post a counter to see how many people said that. I bet it's a lot. Because you're right, I made this battle look easy. Because I knew what I was doing. But now, this person, when I send this save file back to him, he'll understand the strength of this army, and he'll never get into another disaster situation like this again. Because he'll have this tool at his disposal. This is a technique that I'm very familiar with, but not everyone knows about it. Okay, I think we're at full health there. Close victory. Whatever, the victory types don't matter at all anymore. So, in summary, how did this work? It was two things. We hit our units in a way that the AI doesn't understand. They actually don't know what coattles can do. They're not familiar with that technique. They thought we were hiding in the forest, which is why you saw them go for the forest, which is why I didn't hide in the forest, because I knew that they would look for us. I went and sent Kolek at their flank, knowing full well that they weren't going to ignore him, but they also weren't going to send everything at him. They sent a lot of infantry at him, so that's why I had the Fire Wizard there to burn them away, because I know that Kolek was massively anti-large and doesn't spread out that damage very well against infantry. He took out Wulfric the Wanderer like it was pretty much nothing. And then, once the enemy army was spread out so far across the map, because they had no idea where our ground forces were, I went and struck at good units with high value that stood no chance in combat against us, and delivered a decisive blow against them. We diluted their forces and concentrated ours. Because every single unit in this battle participated in the battle. We didn't have any units sitting around doing nothing, although I wasn't really going to use the regular Dragon Ogres. So, when he said in the email, a couple of other units that I was trying out in the stack, you actually did a good job. You don't really need the Carnosaurs so much, but you're at your limit with Shaggoths. You can't get any more because you're playing as Heralds of whatever they're called. And you can only get 6 gifted units. Oh man, I don't even know what to do with this. I think your money's fine, go with that. Hang on, come on. You definitely don't need any more coatls, so I think Carnosaurs were actually a good choice because they can keep up with Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. I do think the Dragon Ogre Shaggoths are better, especially in Kolek's army, because you can boost them by more. If you have a look at the melee attack values, 51 versus 83. Obviously, these ones here are going to outperform the Carnosaurs, but you can't get any more of them in this army. So you could get more Manticores, but I do think that at least at this stage here, when you've got some more physical resistance, then I'd probably replace the Feral Carnosaurs with more Manticores. I'd definitely replace the regular Dragon Ogre. It's entirely up to you. I mean, Kolek does boost them, but I just think that single entities in this sort of army are way stronger than multi-entity units, but it's entirely up to you. It performed well enough. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Hope you learnt something. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.